com, and today I'm speaking to you about Saturn through the 12 signs of the zodiac. Now, if you want to know a bit about your career, you have to know your Saturn sign. If you want to know how karma will hit you and where you will face your greatest challenges, but where you will also have your greatest gifts, then it's absolutely necessary for you to know your Saturn sign. If you have your Saturn, it also speaks about your father figure and your general relationship to father and father figures and the patriarchy in general and all institutions. Okay, Saturn's domain. Now, Saturn in Sagittarius. So let's understand Saturn a bit better. Saturn is the very principle of negentropy. And what do I mean by that? It means constriction, restriction. So Saturn by house, sign, and placements will tell you uh, where you will feel restricted. But once you learn to work with this energy, then you will realize that Saturn is actually your greatest ally. Yes, there are no frills, no extra embellishments when Saturn teaches, because Saturn is a karma bearer. It's you uh, reap what you sow. You know, this is Karma Cafe. Come in and sit down, and you will be served in time with exactly what you deserve. Nothing more, nothing less. And no one can escape the karma of Saturn. We face that probably really emphatically for the first time when we are 29 odd years and we have our first Saturn return. That's when transiting Saturn returns to the place to the same place where it was when we were born. Okay, and this is truly the first uh, stage of maturation. Okay, because the logos expands through the sun. In Mercury it learns about communication. In Venus it learns about what it loves. In Mars it understands the desire principle. In Jupiter it expands. Now after that expansion, what then? There has to be boundaries. You can't just expand forever. You know, you will never achieve any form. Even if you look at our bodies, Saturn rules everything that gives us form. Our hair, our nails, our skeletal structure, our teeth. So this is what helps us hold form. And Saturn rules everything that has form in the physical 3D world. Okay, it is everything that you see around is Saturn. All the big institutions, the patriarchy, the way things function, legalities, everything. And everything must come to answer to Saturn. If you look at the Jungian archetype, Saturn stands for the wise old man or the hermit card in tarot. And this is again about hashtag adulting, growing up, about reaching the next level of maturity. Something most of us don't like to do. We go there kicking and screaming, but it has to be done. Nevertheless, it has to be done. That's why Saturn gets a bad reputation and bad press because he's known as the great malefic. The Persians call him a demon. So, you know, even in the Vedic system, Saturn is a malefic, although he's auspicious and he's part of the Navagrahas. Saturn or Shani in the Vedic system is born of Surya, the sun, and Chaya or shadow. This symbol will tell you that Saturn's energies are made of both light and shadow and is therefore extremely dualistic. And Saturn also has an association with time. He's also known as Kala or the great boundless infinity. Okay, and in the tantric system he's associated with the goddess Kali in the Dasa Mahavidyas. So Saturn is the great void, that's why he's black. And from a great void all the structures and all of creation emanate. Saturn is the first guardian of humanity. So with Sagittarius, as I said, that wherever Saturn is placed in your chart, you are going to face the greatest restrictions. Okay, so Sag deals with higher knowledge, travel, foreigners, higher education, okay, mind expansion, growth, adventure. So when Saturn is placed in Sagittarius, we can see that such ideas or such things, motives can be challenged. There can be a sense of restriction around maybe completing your higher education, and you really want to complete your higher education but you can't do it and you don't know why these things keep happening and you just can't complete it. But after 29, when Saturn gives you a second chance, if you learn the lessons of Saturn, after your Saturn return, you're better equipped to integrate them. And then maybe you go back to school and you complete your higher education, and then you become a teacher, because Sagittarius is always associated to teaching and the teacher. So, in a sense, when Saturn is placed here, you may find that you're unable to express your opinion or teach your particular brand of philosophy. So, Sagittarius is the archetype of the philosopher, and Saturn poses restrictions. So, your philosophy may be not understandable by everyone around you. That could be something. Higher education, maybe you don't get to travel much. And then after you're 29, you do get to travel, and you travel the world and you truly expand your horizons. I mean, with Sagittarius, when they travel, the interactions have to be meaningful. They're not just going to travel in luxury in five stars and stay segregated from the local culture. That's just not the way of the Sagittarius person. She or he wants to be immersed, enmeshed in the local culture, and that is how they grow. And Saturn here, as I said, can be a great can really foster you into becoming a great teacher. As you grow and develop with the lessons of Saturn, you can become a life coach, you can become a guru, because Sagittarius has this vibration of giving out to the world. Because if you look at the glyph of Sagittarius, it is an arrow with a piece of the bow, and that means that it's time to find a directionality, and the directionality is spiritual awareness, because that is the ultimate soul goal of Sagittarius. And here, that discovering that directionality towards spiritual awareness may be a problem. Sagittarius stands for religion also, not just spirituality. So it's ruled by Jupiter, the gas giant, which expands everything. So, in a sense, this expansion of Jupiter can be curtailed with Saturn's positioning here. It's not just going to be ungrounded, the expansion. It's going to have Saturn's stability, because without Saturn, you can't have stability. So it could be an energy you learn to use as you integrate your Saturn lessons, which you learn by understanding the sign, the house, the placements it makes, and then you can better move towards becoming the teacher you're meant to be and to impart that higher education to the world. Because once you've understood what your own unique brand of higher truth is, you can totally, with Saturn's discipline, put it out there. As I said, that you can be a life coach, a speaker, and you have the Sagittarius mutability. So you are not only can you influence people, you are also influenced by people. It's almost like a chameleon energy. So constriction, restriction, no frills, but Saturn is our greatest ally. And as I said, the first guardian of humanity. So work with Saturn and integrate his lessons, and you will see that what you thought was once impossible, it will seem like clockwork. It'll be fluid. It'll just feel like you've been doing it all your life. Saturn will tell you what profession you will take. So in Sagittarius, philosopher, you are definitely prone to that. You're definitely uh, going to explore higher philosophy, and you can't avoid that. Even if you've not been given the resources or the understanding or the knowledge You will still have your own unique brand of philosophy. Now, the negative side of Sagittarius can be fanaticism, which is why we see a lot of people who are fanatics have a strong Sagittarius placement, sometimes Saturn and Sagittarius. So Saturn can also be our phobias, our traumas, our separation, our anxiety, our grief. So which spectrum, uh, from which spectrum are you channeling this energy? That's what you've got to ask yourself, and integrate and grow and understand that everything needs boundaries. Something I think Sagittarius would do very good to realize, that everything requires boundaries. So, you know the drill: like, comment, subscribe, share, and please visit my website www.dinahits.com. Thank you. Take care.